Hey, good morning. This is encouragement and motivation from my heart. And I hope you guys had an amazing weekend and you were able to do something productive, whether that's spending time with your family or just relaxing and not being so busy. Sometimes it can be hard when we live in a world that is full of busyness and chaos and confusion. We can sometimes forget that it's important to quiet our minds and to relax a little bit and spend time with what's most important, and that's family. And today, what I want to talk to you about is, can you hear the whisper? Do you ever notice how loud and uneasy yelling can seem, and it can make you feel, kind of upset or kind of nervous? Whereas a whisper can leave you being the stillest you have ever been and maybe the calmest. Today, during my reading in Ezekiel, there were two things that stood out to me. One was being more than 3 times it talks about in the Bible that God or the glory of the Lord appears in a cloud. We'll talk about that more in a minute. The second thing was throughout the Bible, when God spoke, he whispered. In Job 4, verse 12, it says, "A word was brought to me in secret. My ears caught a whisper of it." 1 Kings 19, verse 12, "After the earthquake, there was a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. After the fire, there was a voice, a soft whisper." Matthew 10, verse 27 says, "What I tell you in the dark, speak in the light. What you hear in a whisper, proclaim on the housetops." Often we can think of clouds in a storm and in turn blind our own eyes and allow fear to whisper lies too loud that we can't hear the whisper of God. In your storm, whatever that may look like, are you listening? Too often times we're asking God if he is listening to our cries and to our prayers and to what we cry out to him. But do we stop and open our ears to listen and to hear God's instruction? Multiple times throughout the Bible, it says, anyone who has an ear to hear, let them listen. God is speaking in the midst of your situation, whatever it is that you have going on. But are you listening to draw near to him? And are you quieting the lies of the enemy long enough to hear his whisper? Now I want to speak to you for a minute about the cloud. Often we associate a cloud with a storm. And we can associate the storm with either something that's going on in our lives or even in a regular storm outside. But when God appears, he appears in a cloud, which oftentimes before storms come in, there's clouds that come in. So today, what I want to encourage you with, and I hope to inspire and motivate you with, is if you're in the midst of a storm right now and you are just having a hard time, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in your work, or just any part of your life, and right now in your mind you have so much chaos and confusion and heartache and so many other different emotions going on, I want to encourage you to find a quiet place, to just sit down and just draw near to God, because he is trying to talk to you, but it's in a whisper. Oftentimes, just like when you were a little kid and you wanted to hear what your friend was saying to your other friend and they were whispering, you had to stop what you were doing. You had to stop moving. You had to lean in a little bit and you had to listen. So today, lean in a little bit and listen. This is encouragement and motivation from my heart, and just as this spoke to me today, as far as drawing in and listening to God, I pray that it helps you in this day as well as you get your morning started off. Draw in and listen to what God has for you today, because he is talking. We just have to stop and listen. Have a great day.